The desert lay unnaturally still, the kind of silence that made every soldier uneasy. Fine dust coated their skin, sweat stung their eyes, and their nerves were wound tighter than a rifle trigger. The Navy SEAL team had been deployed for 6 long weeks, worn down in body and spirit, and now their mission had unraveled. Their objective was gone, and in its place, a heavily armed militia had sealed off the valley, blocking every way out. Commander Blake Harlow was known for staying steady. When everything else fell apart, his men trusted him with more than just their lives. Yet even he felt the weight pressing in as enemy gunfire raked the ridges and mortars thudded dangerously close. Crouched behind shattered stone, Ramirez, the youngest on the team, whispered that they were boxed in. Without air support, they would not last much longer. Harlow knew they needed more than just a pilot. They needed someone who could fly through narrow cliffs and hostile fire without hesitation. Someone who could turn chaos into survival. He brought up his cums, forcing calm into his voice as he called for immediate close air support. Static crackled, stretching the seconds into something unbearable. Then a voice answered, soft and steady, almost too gentle for a battlefield. She said she was inbound. Every SEAL went still. That voice was nothing like the rough, battle-hardened aviators they usually heard. It was quiet, controlled, and strangely unshaken by the storm below. Harlow asked for her call sign, Raven. He warned her about the cliffs and the heavy, anti-aircraft fire, and asked if she was certain she could handle it. After a brief pause, she replied with simple certainty that she never missed. The men exchanged looks. Ramirez muttered that she was the woman they had heard about. Harlow did not care who she was, only how she sounded. There was no bravado, no shouting, only a calm that felt as sharp as a blade. Moments later, jet engines rolled across the night. A dark shape cut through the sky, fast and low as enemy tracers and rockets streaked upward. The aircraft twisted and slipped through the fire as if the pilot could see the future. Then Raven struck. Precision munitions tore into the ridge, each hit perfectly placed. Nothing was wasted, nothing careless. When Harlow told her it was surgical, she answered, just as quietly as before, that she had warned him. With Raven above them, the SEALs pushed forward and broke through the first line. But a second wave of militia surged in from the north, trapping them again. Panic flashed in Ramirez's eyes as he reported they were surrounded. Harlow told Raven that their positions were now mixed with the enemy and that any strike would be dangerous. She cut him off, telling them to mark themselves and leave the rest to her. Infrared strobes lit up on the SEALs. Gear as bullets and explosions filled the valley. There was no room for a single mistake. Raven dove in. Time seemed to slow as her jet sliced through smoke and fire. Shots landed just inches from the friendly markers, but never touched them. She flew so low the air roared across the soldiers. Helmets. Moments the militia was shattered, and the valley fell quiet again, this time for real. Shaken but alive, Harlow spoke her name, unable to hide the relief in his voice. What she had done felt impossible, she answered with a soft breath, and a simple truth that it was only necessary. Then the line went silent. The SEALs never saw her, not that night or ever again. She vanished into the dark as suddenly as she had appeared. Her words lived on among the men who survived that valley. Some believed no human could fly the way she did. Others called her an angel of war. Few thought she was simply a pilot who wielded silence like a weapon, a woman who turned whispers into rescue. For Harlow, there was only one truth. When everything seemed lost, her quiet voice had cut through the darkness and saved them all. Let her story be a reminder that heroes do not always shout. Sometimes the strongest power lies in calm, steady hands and a voice barely louder than a whisper. And sometimes the thin line between life and death is drawn by someone you never even see. If this story stirred something in you, share it, leave your thoughts, and stay connected. Because somewhere out there, even now, someone like Raven may be flying through the dark, whispering hope where it is needed most.